X information? I wouldn't ever give you X information. Please? Okay. Boston Strangler is the newest movie by director Matt Ruskin.
I was really inspired to tell this story. Having grown up in Boston, I had heard about the Boston Strangler my whole life.
Starring Keira Knightley and Carrie Coon. This movie takes us to 1965. The story of the Boston Strangler, or better put, the story of Loretta McLaughlin's involvement in the Boston Strangler case.
Loretta McLaughlin with the Record American.
This movie, in many ways, wants to be Zodiac.
Tried it.
It's a serial killer mystery seen through the eyes of an up-and-coming reporter that gets dangerously involved in a case.
Who is this? Stop calling here.
She has marital problems.
You are unbelievable. You know that? My sister is right about you. You're just...
What? Say it. Say it.
And befriends another much more experienced and respected journalist.
Who's that?
That is Holland's girl, Jean Cole.
Is she a reporter or a nurse?
She's working undercover. Got some story on nursing homes.
But it's pretty obvious that this movie doesn't really get what makes Zodiac so great.
That's too bad, because we're going to talk about this.
Boston Strangler is mostly a well-made movie. The actors are good, the sets and costume design is really good, there's no doubt about it being the 60s, the writing is fine, it worked as a story and doesn't even have any technical problems, but I still came out of watching it completely empty of any thought. It's a movie that won't stick with many people. It severely lacks personality, a consistent tone, or even just one amazing scene. Something to grab its viewers, but it just never delivers. It's mostly overdramatic, either in its dialogue.
Detective Joe, 4 hours for a homicide I'm working. I'd walk out of my kid's christening for that. I don't know what the hell they're doing up there.
Or the lighting.
Albert, please state your full name.
Albert Henry DeSalvo.
Or the blocking.
There's going to be a story. Any of the murders, for that matter.
Literally blocking.
They made a deal.
Or its messaging, or even its cinematography, and especially the music. So many of these make the lack of personality apparent. The movie is well shot, they mostly knew how to compose a shot and make it interesting, but a lot of it feels like it doesn't fit this movie. This shot feels so out of place. It's so stylized and visually stimulating, and it doesn't fit with a movie with such a bleak and sad story to it. The score in this movie is generic and even out of touch. I feel like the composer had no idea what movie these people were making. The music is constantly trying to build tension in such a lame and obvious way. It feels like it was taken out of a superhero movie, but just a bit more serious. It's awful. Loretta is not a good character. She's not very likable, she thinks everything should go her way, and we barely get to know her. She's incredibly generic as a person, and we don't see her interact with anyone that made her open a bit more. They try to create scenes where you see Kira's character as a witty, resourceful woman.
A disgusting display of soft-peddling sycophants. He made me want to quit the journalism business altogether. 2 days prior to when I planned to get married and quit the journalism business altogether.
But those scenes are so short and so dumb. Most of the scenes where she questions somebody go like this.
Anything else unusual when you went in?
No, those details don't belong in your paper.
Oh, no.
I found her on the floor, with her legs spread open, ankles strapped to a chair. There was a broom handle stuck between her legs.
It makes me feel like she's just lucky. She either stumbles upon things, or people just come to her to talk about the case, and anyone gives up any information by what seems like magic. Keira Knightley is also meh in her role. Her accent was very annoying because she's not even trying.
Yes?
She's not working with that much in this movie, but I'd still expect a bit more from her than constant weird face emotions.
And I'm not letting strangers in.
The movie is also a story about feminism, which seemed interesting at the start of the movie, but as it went on, I understood that Matt Ruskin had no clue about what to do with this type of idea in a movie. Loretta, our main character, starts off being cast aside as a crime reporter for being a woman.
Okay, what about the new suspect in the mail truck robbery? Every other paper covered it.
You see that? That's the crime desk. I got 6 guys working that beat.
Loretta, you got this week's product review. Sunbeam has a new toaster.
But that lasts like 5 minutes and it really never comes up again. Later, they use her face on the cover as a stunt to sell the story, which doesn't really have any effect on the movie. There's 2 scenes in this movie where Loretta is threatened in some way. Not only are both of them terrible scenes that feel completely disconnected from the movie, but they also don't lead to face-to-face encounters, so the pictures didn't really do much.
What is that? No, don't touch that! Go back to bed.
The picture stunt is over in a 30-second scene anyway, so I guess it was just that easy.
There's more than one lunatic out there and you're gonna get us both killed. Take it out.
They're not putting our picture in the paper anymore.
Lastly, Loretta has a husband and 3 kids, and the reality is she's a terrible wife and a terrible mother. Or at least that's what we can suspect, since she doesn't ever really interact with anyone in her house. She's there, gets a call, and leaves.
Thank you.
Who was that?
They just found a 4th victim.
Go.
They found another victim. It was a young girl this time.
I'll come in now. I've gotta go in.
You gotta be kidding me.
Her husband is actually quite supportive of her work until he isn't, because she has no respect for him. Her life actually seemed quite easy being a woman reporter in the 60s. I also want to talk about the Predator scene, and no, I'm not talking about the Predator from the Schwarzenegger movie.
Run! Go! Get to the chopper!
It's this very tacked on scene. It's such a quick scene, we never get to experience any tension, there's like no music basically.
You knew Beverly Salmons?
Come inside.
It's just back here. We can talk just back here.
I've just remembered that I've got another appointment. I'm gonna have to come back another time.
The guy didn't even seem creepy, and as soon as we can sense that something might be wrong, that creepiness is coming in, Loretta just leaves quickly and easily. Nothing happened. Absolutely nothing happened in this scene. It has no importance to the plot, there's no consequences, and it's not even scary or creepy, just an awful attempt at copying the creepy scene in Zodiac.
Are you sure there's nobody else in the house? Thank you. Thanks for everything. You're welcome. Thank you.
So there we have it. The Boston Strangler is a movie. 4 out of 10. And that's everything for this video. Hope to see you again soon. And until then, the theater is closed.